In this project, I will show you how to connect keypad, LCD I2C with Arduino Uno. For the concept of this project, it will start from setup. When the program running in setup, LCD will display word welcome setup, and it will enable watchdog timer. In this project, I use a second. And then the program will run to the next part is the loop part. In loop part, I set while loop. During the while loop, it will read data from keypad. If the data, if the user enter data, there is condition to consider data. If user, if user press 1 until 0, A, B, C, and start, it will append those data into string text variable, and LCD will display those string text. But if user press D, it means delete. It will remove the last characters from string text, and LCD will display the updated string text. But if the user press sharp, it will resist watchdog timer to 0, start recounting again, and break from the while loop. It means it will go to the loop again, the outside loop again. But if user do not press any button, the timer that we set up on the setup part still keep counting. If the watchdog timer reads a second, it will activate the by restart board, the Arduino board again. So it means the board will go to the setup part again and go to the loop again. So in conclusion, when we make input, it will display on output. But if we press sharp, it will reset watchdog timer. So, but if we do not press anything in time in a second, it will restart the Arduino board again. This part I will explain how to connect all equipment of this project together. First, it starts with Arduino Uno. For Arduino Uno, I provide a 12-volt DC adapter that gives power supply directly to Arduino board. And next, keypad. In keypad, it needs 8 pins to connect to Arduino Uno. In this project, from left to right, it starts from connect the left wire with pin 11, and next pin 10, 8, 9, 7, 6, 4, 5, and 4 of Arduino Uno. For LCD it requires 4 pins. Start from SDA and SCL. This is the data communication pin. We connect the pin from LCD to directly to SCL pin of Arduino Uno, and SDA pin of Arduino Uno just locate in this location. But for the power supply to LCD monitor, I use separate one. In this case, I use H-bit L28 L298 which is provides additional 5-volt power supply for LCD. So VCC of LCD go directly to 5 voltage, and ground of LCD also connect directly to ground of H-bit. But we also need to provide DC adapter 12 volt to this hash bit. I use the same DC adapter right here by connecting 12 volt to this pin and ground to this pin. That's all for connection of this project. In this part, I will show the code of this project. This project includes three libraries. The first one is for Watchdog library. The second one is for Liquid Crystal I2C library. And the third one is for Keypad library. In case that you don't have this library in your Arduino Uno, you have to go to Sketch, go to Include library and Manage library. If you pop up this dialog, you have to search for what library that you want. In this case, I have to find Liquid Crystal I2C, and then it will show all related library. For my case, I already download this one, Liquid Crystal I2C. Or you can search for Keypad and look at the library that you want. For me, I including this Keypad library in this project. I already download. So again, we need to include Watchdog library here and include Y-hashed and Liquid Crystal I2C hash, and you have to set up, have to declare LCD 0 plus 27 and this value 20 and 4. In some case, maybe you have different model of LCD Crystal I2C, you have to change this one into 30 or something. It depends on the manual of your product. For the keypad part, since our keypad have 4 row and 4 column, the row and column including the character 1, 2, 3, A, this is on the first row. And on the second row is 4, 5, 6, B. The third row is 7, 8, 9, and C. And the fourth row is star, 0, sharp, and D. And we have to set up our pin to Arduino Uno. So we have to define the pin for each column and row. In my case, I set up for column pin to Arduino pin is 7, 6, 5, and 4. And for the Arduino pin for row is 11, 10, 9, 8. You might have different kind of keypad. Maybe the small one or maybe bigger one. You have to try to set up this one by yourself. Just use try and error, and in order to find out the correct pin to use. And then we define the keypad variable by using this command. And we have to define the input key. This variable will use to get data from keypad. And for string input key, it will keep the string data of our input key. Okay, for setup part, Before in setup part, we have to initialize LCD. But before I go further, let me explain the LCD display and how to set cursor on LCD displays. Display of LCD I2C has 2 row and 16 columns. 2 row including row 0 and row 1. 4 columns start from column 0 until column 15. If you want to display word welcome, you have to set cursor at position 0, 0. The first 0 is mean column. The second 0 is mean row. Another example, if you want to display word set up in this location, you have to set cursor as column 10 and row 1. Okay, after we know how to set cursor on LCD in order to display word, now we have to initialize LCD by using function LCD init, and we have to turn on backlight by using function lcd.backlight, and then we set cursor 0, 0 to display word welcome, and we set cursor at column 10 row 1 to display word setup, and we delay for 1000 milliseconds, and we enable watchdog timer, in our case 8 seconds. Actually, we can enable watchdog in different time, not just 8 seconds. The more detail I will explain you as following. For watchdog timer, you can set up watchdog timer in different conditions. Start from 15 milliseconds, 30 milliseconds, 60 milliseconds, until 8 seconds. In this project, we use this 8 seconds for our watchdog timer. The special function call it delete last characters of string. This function I will use to remove the last character of string. For example, if you have string at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, when you press D button on keypad, it means it will delete the last characters of that string, and string will display only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will remove 7 out of the string. Okay, so the code of this function is quite simple. First, we define the variable we call string array, and we determined the length of this array is equal string text dot length, and then we define the value of array of string array by using this command to character array, and then we define the temporary variable, we call it temp string, as an empty, and we run the for loop start from 0 until the string text length minus 1. So it means we echo right character of the string. And then in each loop, we add the character to temporary string like this. And then after finish, we return the string that already removed the last character. Next part is the loop part. In the loop part, when the program runs into the loop part, we will repeat the word We will repeat the function of LCD. Start from backlight to turn on backlight, and we clear the screen, the LCD screen, and we set cursor 00 and print the word loop. And we let it delay for 300. And then we use the for loop. We will print the full stop mark from the position 4 to position 9. So you can see that in this part, it will consume time around 900 milliseconds. It's less than the watchdog time that we set for 8 seconds. And then the program will run the while loop. This loop will run continuously. The first one, it will get the data from the keypad. We store it in valuable input key, and we delay a little bit for 4 milliseconds. After that, we consider the condition of input key that we received. If the input key equal D, it means delete. We will call the function delete last character of string that I mentioned above. I mentioned before. Okay, the LCD will clear and set cursor at position 00 as delete, and then it will show the string input key. This string input key, it is the update one after we delete the last character of the string. The next condition of input key, if the input key equal to sharp, sharp it means reset watchdog. The LCD will clear and set cursor and display word reset at position 00. And then it will reset all the string input key. And it will reset watchdog timer. So it means the watchdog timer will start to rerun again, start from 0. And we keep it delay for 1000 milliseconds and break out of the while loop. For other condition, for example, if you not press D or not press sharp, you push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 9, 0, A, B, C, D, or star. It will add each character from the keypad to string input key variable. And then it will display string input key variable on position 01. That's all for this code of this project. So after we complete coding, let's see how the program works in real life. The program will start from setup and then go to the loop part. During this time, the watchdog timer will run. If we count until 8 seconds, it will reset to the setup mode again and go to the loop again. Without pressing sharp key, the program will go on and on like this. If we press any button, it will display on the LCD. And if we press the delete, it will remove the last character of string. If we press reset, it will reset the watchdog timer and go out of the while loop to the first sentence of the loop program. So you can see that it will not reset the Arduino board because the watchdog timer has been reset. by pressing the sharp button.